Hi, my name is Pete Hahn, and thank you for watching this tutorial video. Be sure to visit www.hahn-tech.com for the full library of video tutorials. I hope this video increases your knowledge and helps you become more efficient with this topic, whether for home or work. Please support this channel by sharing these videos with your friends and colleagues. This three-part series will cover common issues encountered when constructing formulas, formatting cells, and customizing the print layout. This is part 2 of a three-part series and focuses on issues impacted by format settings. The first two topics demonstrate how format settings can impact the return values of formulas. Next, you will see the use of several formatting tools. The focus will be on how to attain consistent and uniform results. We'll wrap things up by demonstrating multiple ways of wrapping text in a cell. Ready to get started? The first topic for this video will focus on formatting errors, which can impact the way formulas are displayed. I begin by entering some sample data in rows 3 and 4. No surprise here, I'll be using the very familiar sum function for these two examples. Cells D3 and D4 are formatted differently. It is not clearly visible yet, but as soon as I enter these formulas, you will see the impact of formatting. Cell D3 is formatted with the default general setting, and you can see the formula result returns as expected. Cell D4 is formatted with the setting of text, as we will examine shortly. Notice as I complete the formula by pressing enter, we fail to get the same result as the previous cell. To display the current format setting, I right-click on cell D4, navigating down to menu option Format Cells. This opens the Format dialog window. As you can see, cell D4 has formatted with the text setting. Now I will access the Format dialog window for cell D3 so we can compare. Notice it is formatted with the default general setting. Let's go back to the cell which is formatted as text and change its setting to general. That should fix things up. What? No change? Why didn't that work? Well, there is one more step required to complete this repair. That is to click in the formula bar for cell D4 and press enter. That's it, nothing more than clicking in the formula bar and pressing enter. The next example will also demonstrate how format settings can impact the way formulas are displayed. I'll enter some source data in row 9. I will be using the sum function for this example, and my source data reflects that, sort of. I click and drag to select a range of 3 cells. I enter a closing parentheses and press enter to complete the formula. Notice the formula itself is displayed rather than the result, similar to what we saw in cell D4 above. So let's examine the format dialog for cell D9. Okay, it's set to text, so I will set it to general, but that doesn't complete the repair. So I click the formula bar for cell D9 and press enter. Whoa, wait a minute, that's not supposed to be 0. Something else is in need of repair. We have more work to do. Selecting a range of cells in row 9, I can adjust their format settings together. Notice to the right is an alert symbol. Hovering my mouse over it, I see there are several options available to fix this. Once you get to know the how and why, feel free to use those to fix formatting issues. But for now, I want to show you the specific reasons causing these problems. I change these 3 cells to general setting and click OK. But we still have a 0 in cell D9. We need to refresh the data as before, and this time I do this by double-clicking in each cell and pressing enter on my keyboard. Notice each cell that gets refreshed causes the formula result in D9 to be updated as well. For these next examples, we leave the formulas behind and dive fully into the world of formatting. I'm going to demonstrate various tools available for adjusting how text is displayed in cells. I will take you step by step as I make several changes to the formatting of the first group of items. I select the top row of data, change the font to bold, centered, and underlined. The next group of cells selected are going to be centered. The price data I will format at currency. These next steps will be setting the border style. Selecting the top row of data again, I have two border settings to make. First selection will be for all borders. Then I will pause to take a look at the resulting change. So you can see it placed a thin border around each individual cell. Next step, I will do the same, but this time setting them to thick border. The second setting in this case does not erase the first. We are left with thin borders between each cell with a thick border surrounding the entire group. I will do the same for the rest of the data. Setting both the all borders and thick border settings consecutively, we see that it places a thin border between each cell and a thick border around the entire group. Now I will apply a fill color to the top row to make it stand out more. Something in light orange. I will do the same with the data below the top row, selecting a light green color. I wasn't counting, but that seemed like a lot of steps, and we want to be consistent in applying this formatting. So let's explore some tools to do just that. First, I will show you how to save and apply a custom cell style. I believe this feature was introduced in Excel 2007. From the Styles menu, I click the Cell Styles option, then navigate to the very bottom and click New Cell Style. I enter the name for this style and check the box labeled Border. You can check and uncheck boxes as needed to determine which format options to include in your custom style. I will do the exact same thing for the section of data below the header. You see the style I just saved is listed at the top. Selecting New Style at the bottom opens another dialog window. I enter the name for this style and review the items below. I check the alignment and border boxes to include those format settings in this style. After clicking OK, I save that style, and now both are available to be applied to other areas of my spreadsheet. Selecting the header row of the next set of data, I navigate to and click my header style item to apply it. But when we take a closer look at the result, we see it does not exactly match the original. I'll select the area of data below the header and navigate to and click the My Body Style item from the menu. Once again, we see the results don't exactly match. The borders, alignment, and currency settings did not carry over. In the next steps, I will show what I feel is a more reliable way to apply consistent formatting across your spreadsheets. I select the entire group of original data containing the format I wish to apply elsewhere. I navigate to and hover over the Format Painter icon. I'll leave this on the screen for a few seconds so you can read it. Once I single-click the Format Painter, all of the formatting options for the currently selected cells are stored in the clipboard. Notice the pointer icon changes to display a small paintbrush to the right of the plus sign. To apply this formatting to another section of my spreadsheet, I single-click the cell in the upper left of the area where I want to apply these format settings. As you can see, it is a perfect match and so much easier than saving and trying to reuse a custom style. There is one more method I will demonstrate, which is just as easy and effective as the Format Painter. I will undo the previous formatting on the bottom section of data. I select the original set of data at the top and right-click and select Copy. I select the cell in the upper left corner of the section I want to apply this formatting and right-click and select the fifth clipboard to the right under Paste Options. This will paste only the format settings from the previously copied section. As you can see, It is just as easy and works perfectly. The final topic we'll example in this tutorial is text wrapping. As I type in cell C34, you can see the text runs outside the cell and does not wrap. It just continues out into adjacent cells. I will now type a similar length sentence in cell C36. But I have to turn on text wrapping before the text I just typed will wrap. I right-click and select Format Cells to open the Format dialog window. From the tabs at the top, I click on Alignment. On the left side, at the midpoint of the window, is an option called Wrap Text. Selecting that turns on text wrapping for that cell. I can modify the column width to adjust how the text displays. See, as the column gets wider, the height of row 36 decreases. Next, I will demonstrate another method to wrap text. This involves the use of a keyboard shortcut, Alt plus Enter. I'll type out a similar length sentence as before. But this time, as I come to the end of the cell, I will press Alt plus Enter to force a line break on the text. And again, I press Alt plus Enter to force a line break after the word manually, and once again after the word line. Once I press Enter to exit the cell, you can see the height of row 38 adjusts to automatically fit. This is a handy trick to remember. You can apply this in many other programs and can be used on Windows as well as Mac operating systems. This concludes part 2 of a 3-part series titled Resolving Common Spreadsheet Issues. We'll wrap things up with a quick review of the topics we just covered, followed by a preview of topics to come in part 3. So in this video, we saw the format settings can negatively impact the values we get back from our formulas. We saw several formatting tools demonstrated, and we discovered a couple of easy ways to achieve consistency. We also saw a couple of methods for wrapping text. Part 3 will cover print layout issues. I will take you through the process of adjusting the page layout to achieve a consistent and uniform result. Along the way, pointing out common hazards to be avoided. Thanks for watching this tutorial video. I hope it helps you build more efficient and robust spreadsheets. Be sure to visit www.hahn-tech.com for the full library of tutorials. Please support this channel by sharing these videos with your friends and colleagues. Be sure to subscribe to this channel to receive updates when new videos are published. Thanks and take care.